show with restaurant critic and radio host Peter Dills. Peter readily admits to being born into the world of food, as he is the son of noted restaurant critic Elmer Dills. As far back as he can remember, Peter was following his father from restaurant to restaurant, always tasting, always learning about food and discovering new and exciting restaurants and travel destinations. As his food adventure comes full circle, he now stars on radio and television with his popular food and travel show, Dining with Dills, named after his father Elmer. And now, your host, Peter Dills.
Okay, guys, it's Peter Dills, aka LA Foodie, with another food podcast. We're ending up in February right now, a couple weeks away from March. I got a couple subjects I thought would be fun to talk about. Award ceremonies. It's always award season here in LA. And what is going on at your local supermarket where you're actually having to tip? Well, more about that a little later. Don't worry, it's going to be about 8 or 9 minutes. Hope you enjoy this. If you do enjoy this, you can just give me a email to thechefknows@yahoo.com, thechefknows@yahoo.com. And however you're listening to this podcast, you can favorite it. And by all means, make a comment. Best of, best sushi, best burger, best patio, best smiling host, best lighting, best everything, best this, best that. Man, awards. Is it a scandal or is it just marketing? How the best of the machine works. Annual best of issues are often the most profitable newspaper edition of the year. So here in Pasadena, Pasadena Weekly, LA Weekly, LA Times, Pasadena Magazine, San Gabriel this, Burbank News, the weekly this, the weekly that, the best of. It's just a way for these newspapers to generate extra income, you know. And my friends, you ever heard of the expression bad publicity? There's no such thing as bad publicity. Well, these guys they'll hit you up if you're a restaurant or a car wash or a dry cleaner on logos, window decals. They'll mention you on social media, full page ads. I saw one for Kabuki in the Pasadena Weekly, full page ad. I don't know what that costs, but they have a banner outside of their restaurant. Pasadena Weekly, Japanese restaurant, best Japanese restaurant. Is it really? I don't know. That's not what this story is about. You know that in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, when you see those on TV, Nicolas Cage or Robert De Niro or Sting or whoever is getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, somebody paid for those. Yeah, there's an application. Yes, there's a committee, but there's also a sponsorship fee, and those go into the tens of thousands of dollars. I have to admit, a few years ago for Pasadena Weekly, I was voted best personality of Pasadena, Peter Dills, and I had to pay for it. I didn't have to pay for it, but they suggested that I buy an ad, and they knew that I won before the even. I can't say that it was rigged, but they told me that I was going to win. Well, you haven't even counted the ballots yet. $200. I bought the ad. Did I break the law? No. But I did participate. Did it look good? Yeah. Except for, you know. How many voted? How many categories? How many winners? Declined to advertise. I don't know. My dad, Elmer Dills, used to say, you know, here's a way you can avoid the awards to know if a restaurant's good. Once the paint is dry, meaning the restaurant's been there 6-7 months, if there's still long lines out the door, they're probably onto something. You don't need a decal, no banner, just demand. Yeah, social media is cluttered. Yes, hype is manufactured, but sometimes there's breadcrumbs that you can follow on Facebook or Instagram. Like if I have a good martini somewhere, I'll put it on. You know, not bragging for myself. I'm just saying XYZ restaurant makes a good martini or has a good clam chowder or the steak was phenomenal or the onion rings, french fries were freshly cut that day. So there are ways to find, you know, the true award winners. You know, sometimes they're deserved, sometimes they're influenced, sometimes they're monetized. Usually just a little of all three. So no plaque, no sticker, no sponsored badge can rescue a dried chicken breast. And the only real award that matters is your opinion. This is Peter Dills. That's my best award restaurant in return. All right. Phase 2 of our podcast today. Man, I've had over 7,000 hits on Facebook in 24 hours. I think that might be the most I've ever received. And here's what happened. And I'm going to tell you the truth as I remember it, but it was just yesterday. I went into a restaurant. No, I didn't. Slash that. I went into a market called Erewhon. Have you heard of it? They got one in Malibu and at the Grove and now in Pasadena. And it's clean. It's nice. They've got lunch. A lot of people go in there for lunch because you can get a pizza, ready-made food. It's totally expensive though. I mean, if you've been there, you're shaking your head yes, going, Erewhon is crazy expensive. The thing that caught my eye when I went in there, there was just as many people working there as shopping there. There are a lot of people shopping there, a lot of people working there. I just wanted a smoothie. I know that Jamba Juice's smoothies are about $7 or $8, but for whatever reason, I said, I'm going to Erewhon. $16 for a smoothie. So I wear reading glasses if I need to see something in small print. And I asked the woman behind the counter, how do I pay? Where do I pay? Where do I tap? And she goes, oh, right to the right there. No, below that. So I tapped it. And she goes, hit the green button, $3.20 tip. So at 2 o'clock on Tuesday in February, the screen was already calibrated to a 20% tip. So how is it that we got to a point in our lives that we're tipping at supermarkets now? And why was it calibrated already or set to 20%? Shouldn't the screen be bigger and so that I could read it, or anybody could read it, a 25-year-old? So she got a 20% tip on getting a smoothie for me. It just doesn't make any sense. And the thing that kind of pissed me off, or still pisses me off, it's not the $3. Tips means to ensure proper service. So I'm tipping in advance, I guess, at a supermarket. It's ridiculous. Why is it that it was already set at 20%? At least, shouldn't it be at 0? And then you and I, the consumer, get to pick how much of a tip we want to leave? What is your thoughts? The chef knows at yahoo.com. The chef knows at yahoo.com. Hey, thanks to our friends up in Sierra Madre, Casa del Rey. We went up there over the weekend, my friend Jesse and I. They do make pre-made margaritas, but we don't go for that. We tell them we want them freshly blended and right in front of us. I get it. A lot of restaurants do that. Love Casa del Rey, especially this weekend. It's going to be 80, 90 degrees. Casa del Rey up in Sierra Madre. Definitely check it out. They've had National Margarita Day, National Chip Day. Every day is something. Isn't that true? All right, so I write for the Mountain View News up in Sierra Madre. Check out my column if you live up in the area, in Pasadena too. It's a newspaper. And then online, we've got News and Roses, and then localnewspasadena.com. localnewspasadena.com. If you're looking for information on things that are happening in Pasadena, or what's happening in the political world, or what's happening with UCLA at the Rose Bowl, check out localpasadenanews.com. Okay, guys, that is today's podcast. What are we at? 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Exactly what I promised you.